Hello everyone and welcome to lesson 7.3. Here's your objective. It's very similar to 7.2, but as you can see we're doing subtraction this time. Solve and write subtraction equations is what's going on. It's the same exact thing. We're going to be trying to get the variable all by itself. This time we're subtracting, so that probably means to cancel out we are going to add. Let's get started. Once again, we have to get the variable by itself. Last lesson we would have done something like x plus 3 equals 7, and we subtracted 3 to cancel out, and we subtracted 3 on this side, and x would have equaled 4. Same concept this time, except we are subtracting. So how do we cancel out essentially negative 2? This is x minus 2. So on this side, I'm going to add 2 now, because minus 2 is essentially a negative 2. So negative 2 plus 2 will equal 0, which means it basically just cancels out. So since I added 2 to the left side of my equation, I'm going to add 2 to the right side, and 3 plus 2 equals 5. So x must equal 5. Now one thing that I did not change, that we're not changing from this lesson, is checking. So since I said x equals 5, let's plug it in and see if we're right. 5 minus 2 does equal 3. So I know that my x equals 5. Okay? Key thing again is checking your work and getting the variable all by itself. Here we go. We have x minus 7 equals 4. So essentially this is a what? Yep, it's a negative 7. How do I cancel out a negative 7? I want to get it to 0. Negative 7 plus 7 on this side will cancel it out. Whatever I do to my left, I do to my right. 4 plus 7 equals 11. X must equal 11. I could plug it in my head and see. 11 minus 7 is in fact 4. X is 11. Looking on this side. Now I have my subtraction part on the right side of the equation. It doesn't matter. It could essentially be c minus 5 equals 9. All right, don't get caught up in that. I just have my answer of the equation on the left side now. Okay, so this is essentially a negative 5, so I'm going to add 5. Cancels it out. What's 9 plus 5? Well, it's 14, so c must equal 14. Is it true? Let's see. What's 14 minus 5? Is it 9? You could do the work, but I know it. It's true. So c is equal to 14. So if you got last lesson, this should be fairly easy to you. Right here, that is not a 5. That is Mr. Murphy's s. S minus a half equals a half. Okay. Well, if this is minus a half, or essentially a negative half, I'm going to add a half to this side so it cancels out. And what's 1 half plus 1 half? You could probably mentally do that and get 1. So s equals 1. Let's see. Let's plug it in. If I have a whole and I take away a half, I will be left with a half. All right? Checking out this side, we're dealing with more fractions here. It's c minus 1 equals 3/4. Essentially, this is a negative 1. I want to cancel it out. And what's 3/4 plus 1? Well, 3/4 plus 1 is just 1 and 3/4. We have a mixed number here. So c equals 1 and 3/4. We check it. Is 1 and 3/4 minus 1 equal 3/4? Yeah. We just take away that whole number. So that one is a pretty easy fraction one to deal with. Now I want to show you, you're not going to have this in your workbook or anything, or even on your homework questions, but what if the subtracting number is the variable, all right? Because there's a couple options you could do here. We want to get c by itself, so here's kind of like the weird option you might do. I'm going to add c and then add c. I'm left with 5, so this cancels out. 5 equals 2 plus c. All right? And now I can get c by itself. I could minus 2 from here, cancels it out, and 5 minus 2 equals 3, so 3 equals C, or C equals 3. I can plug it in and check. Now this is an easy problem, so you're probably best guessing and checking, but 5 minus 3 does equal 2. Now here's another way to do this type of problem, but again, if you don't understand this, that's okay. It's not part of this lesson, this is just a little bit bonus for you. Alright, now this is a positive 5. Okay, this is going to be really strange for many of you. So I can minus this 5 right here, cancels out, and then I have 2 minus 5, which equals negative 3. Alright, so I'm left with negative C equals negative 3. Now these negatives essentially cancel out, and you're left with C equals 3. Alright, and that's just another weird way of looking at it, but you don't have to know that right now. Just know that that could be up ahead. Alright, it's your turn now. Once again, I want you to get the variable by itself. I want to see your work. Alright, I can even already tell you what the answer is. I don't want you just plugging it in and guessing. I want to see you actually doing plus 5, canceling out, and then adding 5 to this side, and what it equals. Alright, and then put B equals whatever it is after you show your work. If you don't show your work, that is a problem. It's not too hard, just a little bit extra work. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.